Carroll.
And I'm Monika Marani.
Welcome to another Healing Wednesdays Circle of 12. I'm sitting next to Monika Marani, and we're going to do this together as we always do.
Thank you, Lee. I'm so honored and privileged and blessed to be here with you.
We're getting used to it now, presenting together, and especially this Healing Wednesday. And again, I want to thank you, all of those subscribers who have decided to be with us every single Wednesday for a lot of weeks and perhaps many, many months. And we are very happy to be here with you. I want this to be kind of like coming home every Wednesday, and that's kind of the idea. It's a safe place to be. But before we begin, and before we do anything else, I just have a couple of things to say, and it's something I'm going to say every single time.
Yes, it's important that you do.
Are they going to get tired of this?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, we hope not.
You can skip past. No, you can't. It's live.
Well, no.
Yeah, only in the replay.
Only the replay can they skip it.
Streaming is a different animal than YouTube. And what I mean by that, it takes a lot more processing. It's a little hard. Whenever we come to you in this format, which is live, it's a more taxing, I would say, technical protocol. And here's why I'm saying this to you, is because there is a tendency for things to happen with the internet. There always is. It has to be stellar here. It has to be stellar where you are. And sometimes it's not. And it's odd how it works, because there are some who get flawless streaming and some will have a lot of problems, starts and stops. The sound goes crazy, and then you have to pick it up again. You have to refresh. So one of the key things, if anything happens at all, please refresh your browser. I always say that, your browser, and do it a lot. But in case there is too much of this starting and stopping, and it's frustrating for you, these are important programs. They really are. It's important that you see it in succinctly, perfectly, and if you're not, here's my instruction. Don't be frustrated, folks. Don't be frustrated. Just turn off your device, breathe a little, and wait till approximately 1 hour after this broadcast finishes. Now that's usually about 8:30 Pacific time. We'll have the replays available for you. The replay is not live streaming, and so it is far easier to receive perfectly. We're recording this in our studio, and so that recording will be played 1 hour after this is done, and you'll get a perfect replay. Just pretend it's live. So I don't want you to be frustrated. I want you to see this correctly as we've given it. This is about energy. It's important. There's a channeling and all of these things. You don't want to be interrupted in that. So if you're frustrated, if this works, just turn it off and then come back after 8:30 Pacific time today, and you will see the replay. I think that about covers that.
I think that does cover it.
Good.
Yeah.
Our program, just if you perhaps have just subscribed, and this is the first one, we have Monika and I, and we're going to talk about various experiences we've had just through the Cryon times and the tours, and perhaps even not the tours, just some personal things we'd like you to know, and they're probably the only time you'll hear it in these programs. Then we have a channeling from Cryon. And then after the channeling, we have an interview from a special guest. One special guest every single Wednesday. We take a little break, and then we come back with the Circle of 12.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So let's get to it. What do we want to talk about?
Well, I thought it would be fun to talk about what happened just over a year ago when we were in Egypt, and part of the tour, it was actually the very beginning of the tour in April of 2019, when Ilan, our organizer, decided that we would have a mountaintop experience on the top of Mount Sinai, and that Cryon would channel at sunrise. Now, this all looks very good on paper, except when you realize what kind of physical stamina is required to get to the top of the mountain for sunrise. So how did that feel for you when Ilan kind of said, okay, we have on the schedule a Cryon channel at sunrise on the top of Mount Sinai?
You know, I didn't really get the fact that I had to climb a mountain. I don't know why. I wasn't really thinking about that. But
and he's not a hiker.
I'm not a hiker. I'm not even hardly a walker. Let's just tell folks I'm real comfortable in my chair here. So,
but I've been impressed with you. You have impressed me over the years.
I've been impressed with you as well. She's a walker, and she takes walks in the morning, in the evening, and this is the kind of thing. And I've been joining her occasionally. But let's go back to 2019. It was a different time then.
Yes.
And it was a time when we were doing all manner of things, but I wasn't climbing mountains. And when Elon said we were going to Mount Sinai, I didn't really understand. You know, Mount Sinai is famous for Moses.
Yes, it is.
And so he went up there and got the 10 Commandments.
Yes.
I don't think he went to the top, by the way. There's nothing in Scripture that said he went to the top. He just went up the mountain. I mean, he could have gone, you know, like 10 minutes up the mountain and done his thing, because he was kind of an old guy even back then, so I'm not sure that he had the stamina to climb. Mount Sinai is famous now for this trek. And what happens is that people start at midnight or perhaps even before, depending upon how fit they are, and in the dark, they go up to the top of Mount Sinai and they experience sunrise. There's many faiths that go up there, many tourists who go up there, just all manner of people we know, we see. Now, you have several ways of doing it. And you can hike up the whole mountain, and you remember you're doing it in the dark at night. Or you can go part way up, or say almost all the way up, with camel. And that takes, I think, a couple hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
A long time.
A long time.
Yeah.
And you can then get off of the camel. Again, we're in the dark, and Bedouins take you up there with the camels, and then you can get off, and there are 700 steps then to the top.
And you kind of think, okay, it is
700 steps. That's not much.
That's not much.
Yeah, we can do it.
And you know, you can do it until you actually look at the steps.
Well, that's the next thing I want to talk about. Number one, we did a channeling. All of this, by the way, is on my free audio page. You can hear everything that happened there. We did channeling at the base of Mount Sinai with our group. I forgot, we had maybe 100, 120 people. And we were going to then go up Mount Sinai. And so I had elected, oddly enough, to go with a camel. Now, I have never actually ridden a camel. I've taken a ride on a camel. That's different. You know, when last time we were in Egypt, I took a ride. That's where the guy puts you on, he photographs you, you walk around a little bit, and they take you off again?
Yes.
I thought, hey, I've ridden a camel. No. So I got on the camel and realized immediately after about 10 or 15 minutes,
you were not designed to ride a camel.
This hurts. This hurts. And I didn't wear my armor suit. And I should have. And I realized, how am I going to do this? So we had about the 2 hours. I survived, and going up there, and even as it was hurting, and even though we were going up in the dark, this was a surreal. I mean, you can imagine you don't hear anything but the camel's footsteps and the Bedouins giving their language to them to hurry up or slow down or whatever. At one time, my camel actually decided to go another way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right. He said,
You never told me that.
I've had enough of this. I'm going this way. And they came and got me. And, at this point, I don't know what to say to the camel.
I know, because I also did the camel, but Lee and I got separated.
Oh, yeah.
We were not anywhere near each other, and it's pitch black. It's the dark. You really can only just see a couple of lights from people's mobile phones or torches.
It was surreal.
Sorry, you call them a flashlight.
Yeah.
But that's all you had as a point of reference.
So we are separated. We're going up, and the camels are there and all. And then we get to that place where we're going to have to get off the camel and go in the steps.
Yeah.
And that, you think, well, that's going to be pretty easy. The camel kneels. You just get off the camel.
Yeah.
What I didn't realize that my legs had gone to sleep.
Yeah.
Now, you're not really aware of this while you're on the camel, because first of all, you're being pinched a little bit and all, and you're fighting to stay I am anyway, fighting to keep your balance, and it's hurting in very interesting places. And so.
But I knew it would hurt more to have to walk all that way and then the last 750 steps.
Well, I wasn't about to do that.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so I got off the camel and immediately fell over. Now
I'm glad I wasn't there.
No, I was. And they came over and they're trying to get me to stand up against the wall, but my legs are asleep. So I can't even stand up. So that was the beginning, folks. That was of this little thing. Now I'm realizing we've got to get to the top by sunrise.
Yes, for the channel.
Okay. And so luckily, of course, this was a Shaloha Productions tour. That
Yeah.
means Elon Cohen, who always is with us and does all these magnificent tours, first
Yes,
class, absolutely
yes.
first class. He was there for me.
Yeah.
And when we got together, he had come up either he walked up or he had his own camel, I forget.
Yeah.
But then we met, and he realized I was in distress, and we sat there for a while, and there was a little. I'm so glad they actually. You talk about civilized. They had a little hot chocolate shop there.
Yes.
And I had a hot chocolate right there, and of course that's all I needed.
That's all you needed. And
right.
Elan organised for a Bedouin guide to accompany us on the rest of the tour.
For the 700
and
steps, right.
This beautiful young Bedouin guide was carrying our bags. And thank goodness for Elan. Elan was practically carrying Lee the rest of the way.
He was carrying me.
Yeah.
He was lifting me up step after step.
He really was.
And in the process, the reason you say, what kind of shape are you in, Lee, that you can't do stairs? They weren't stairs.
They were boulders.
They were. Every step was something you had to climb on. It's like, oh, I see this isn't the normal step. So instead it's supposed to be like this, like that.
Yeah.
And so here we are, working this
and
puzzle.
Again, not a hiker.
I'm not a hiker.
At that stage, I was 40 pounds, like 20 kilos heavier than what I am now, and I had a cold. So
you were a
I
trooper.
was
You were a
almost
trooper.
not even deciding to go, but there was something in me that just said, no, I am going to do it, and I'll just have to take it easy because my lungs were very congested with the cold.
Yeah.
And I just had a job to carry myself. So thank goodness Elan was there. We had other people in the group that ran up and down. I mean, it's amazing the fitness
Literally
level of
ran
people.
up the mountain, ran down the mountain.
Yes.
They were super people.
Yeah, I think so.
I think one of them had a cape.
So. Yeah.
This is how I feel.
That's right.
We did make it, and the interesting thing in that whole time of climbing those 700 steps and getting to the top, we did make it by sunrise, but getting there, I was aware that, first of all, you realize we're at night. I was aware that Elan was always shoving me toward the wall side, not the
drop-off.
The drop-off. And you can't see what is on the drop-off. You'd never know. And, of course, I was always losing my balance, and I was tired, and I was shifting certain ways, and he was always there pushing me back to the wall.
He was.
And I wasn't really aware until we started back down, and the sun had come out. What was the drop-off?
Oh, my gosh. Wasn't that wild to look and go, this is what we walked up. If I had seen that in the dark, I don't know if I would have wanted to continue walking.
Yeah. Going up Mount Sinai with flashlights in the dark. To meet Moses, basically.
But what was so amazing is you come up there at sunrise and you have so many people up there in such joyous celebration because as you mentioned earlier, this represents something very profound for people of different faiths and belief systems.
It really does.
And so they get up there and they really feel something and connect with something. And then, of course, we had to try and find a private place in a public area to give a channel. And there is no such thing. It doesn't exist.
Up there it didn't exist, and we try to remove ourselves so we don't bother anybody because we're going to channel, and it's our group. We got over 100.
And we don't want to offend other people who are also up there with their own belief system and having their own experience.
So we're in a public place. We have the guide audio, which means I'm speaking into a transmitter, and people have that. So it's not too invasive. But we're still channeling in public, basically.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful message all about, I loved this part, where it was allegedly the place where Moses received the 10 Commandments. And then
you're going to tell them about that.
Cryon says, well, it's kind of human bias to think that God would command you to do anything.
Since we have free choice.
Because we have free choice.
Right.
Think of them more as 10 suggestions.
The 10 suggestions.
Yeah, I love that.
I can't believe we're telling everybody that.
I know.
I'm so embarrassed.
It's
actually.
But I loved it.
I know. We're going to get in trouble for this.
I know.
One.
And then when we started, I think for me, what was so special was coming down those steps after the channel. And I think we took even longer going down than we did coming up.
And we, by the way, did not use a camel.
We did not use a camel on the way down. We had it with the camel.
That again. No.
And then we meet this beautiful black man from Africa who, as we're catching our breath, stops and looks at Lee. He's about the same age as Lee. Looks at Lee, shakes his hand, tells us where he's from, and then says, By the way, that message that you gave on the mountain was beautiful, and I really enjoyed it. I mean,
Yeah,
I just
touched me.
about fell over.
Yeah, he was just there with his group.
And didn't he also say that he was from a Christian group and something else?
Yeah.
And just how universal the message of God and love
He really liked it.
can reach people. Yeah.
Cryon gave that message, and just not to extend it, but that he mentioned that Moses wasn't necessarily happy to be there, that he was doubting even himself.
Yes.
And that really, I think, struck a
think
thread.
it does.
Yeah.
When we all suffer self-doubt.
We all have this.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, we even had doubts, would we get to the top of the mountain?
That's right.
But it's amazing what you can do. And that's why I just love these Healing Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So that you connect in with extraordinary abilities that are already built in within you. And when we came down, I saw it in action where Lee's legs were actually shaking and cramping, and we had hours more of walking to do, and Lee kept rubbing his legs and talking to his cells. He was literally talking to the legs, saying it's okay, calming them down from their cramp, and getting back down. So this is exactly what Cryon teaches, that we talk to our cells. The cells of our body are listening.
So what I want to do, just to finish the story before we go to channel, is when I got down, I was feeling elated. I did it. I climbed Mount Sinai in the dark. I mean, I had a little help with a camel there for a while, but I had done it. I was so proud of myself going.
I was proud of you too.
Well, so what I did on my phone, we actually had data there, and what I did was to, I actually texted, I messaged my good friend Greg Braden. Because I knew the time zone where he was, and I knew that he had come to Egypt many years ago. He led tour after tour after tour to Egypt, so he's an authority.
Yes.
Besides other things, he is, and he's my good spiritual brother. So I texted him and I said, Greg, you'll never believe where I am, and just what I've done. I climbed Mount Sinai, and I got this beautiful message back. He said, congratulations, brother. He says, I've done it 13 times.
Oh, yeah, I know. I think it may have even been more. He has led groups up there, and oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I felt very small at that moment. 13 times. Oh, God bless you, Greg. Okay.
All right.
Let's do a channel.
Let's do that. Okay. As we prepare to go into a channel with Lee, let us step our intellect aside. Put it in the back seat. And instead connect in to your heart. You may even place your hand on your heart so you connect in with the innate wisdom and intelligence of your heart. Ask your heart's wisdom to come closer into your triad of your brain, pineal, and heart. And with that connection, that is where you receive intuitive guidance. And that is where you can discern what's coming in from your intuition and receive whatever message you need to receive. And let us together create a collective group where we will hear a message from Cryon that's addressing this particular collective group of souls that are now gathered. Cryon doesn't deliver messages just in the air to no one. Cryon delivers messages to the collective group that is gathered to listen and hear. That is how special you are, individually and collectively, as we come together in a soup of oneness to receive this message.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Cryon of Magnetic Service. I will say yet again, and many times I will repeat, Spirit is not in a vacuum. This is probably the best news I could ever say to those of you who are here. For sometimes the training says differently, that God is on a pedestal, and that God does not really know what is going on necessarily in the minutiae of your life. It is just the opposite, dear ones. On the other side of the veil, that creative source knows you, knows your name. It's even been said in certain scriptures that Spirit knows every hair on your head. That is a metaphor that just says you are known by God, not just your name, but as perhaps you would know your children. A child of God, some have said, it is like that. That is the love that is here for you. A little later, when we get into that which is the circle of 12, and we walk you yet again through that meditation and through all of the metaphors and guide you into another kind of reality, this is what we teach. It is a time to understand the closeness you have to Spirit, closer than you thought. Healing is the subject, and we have told you that healing can be many things. Indeed, you don't have to be diseased to sit in these places and ask for healing. The kinds of healing that we speak of go far, far beyond even the corporeal. The healing of memories, the healing of anxiety, fear. All of these things are dysfunctions that you might have as you would come here to this safe place and want to just sit with us for a while. And indeed, we see you there. It is an interesting kind of puzzle that I will say to you again. I know what's happening, and the puzzle that is interesting to you is that the areas of energy that we speak about are multi-dimensional areas. They are not that which you have in 3D. Distance does not matter. Time doesn't matter. I speak now perhaps to those who might be listening later. And to those I say, it is no different now to later. For I know who's listening later. This is the beauty of a God that can see all and know all. I am part of that collective, dear ones, from the other side of the veil. I have never been human. My partner knows this and sees things, even as I speak to him, that you don't get to see. Sometimes there's a majesty that he can't even describe. That the love that we have for you, it goes beyond time. So when you are listening to this now, and that is you call live, it may be one thing. You may listen to it again. Others may come and listen to it at another time or place. The recording, that is the sound, may be that which someone is listening to a year from now. But I'm speaking to you now. The now is therefore defined as you and I looking at each other right now. Now, no matter when your clock says now is. Did you get that? This is the beauty of a multidimensional creative source, known by God no matter what time it is in your life or whenever you receive the message. Healing, dear ones, is very similar to this. And it's simply the most unsimple thing you can imagine. It's complex. Too complex even for this discussion right now. Way too complex. But I will give a hint of what I want to tell you here. There are puzzles in healing, are there not? Let me speak to the healer who is here, listening, watching. Isn't it interesting that you can develop a very powerful protocol that is a healing protocol? One that you have used and developed and seen happen. You've seen miracles, either in your chairs or on your tables or even long distance, haven't you? You've seen those who have come to receive certain kinds of things from you, and you actually have delivered that with the modalities that you've had, that you've intuited, that you're using. That is what healers do. And isn't it interesting that even though you will do the same kinds of things to every single human being as they need them, as you intuit them, some of them will instantly heal and some of them will never heal? You know I'm right. Isn't it interesting that there's such a variety of differences even within your own patients? How does that work? Well, every single healer knows this because they've seen it over and over. And if they are wise, and most are, they will ask their patients or their friends or whoever it is that they're working with to first give permission to heal. In other words, there is something there, dear ones, that requires you give either intent or awareness to the healing that is going to occur. This is why, dear ones, you can pray and pray and pray and pray for an individual or a group or whatever, and there's no change. But if that individual or group knows that you are praying for them, or believes that prayer answers are there, and believes that the healing modality really does work, they have given permission and cognized that which can occur. And then the healing starts. And sometimes it's a low-level healing, and they come back and get more and more. Sometimes it's spontaneous remission. But it takes at least the awareness that you're doing it with them for a full event of healing to happen. This also explains why some will say to you, my brother is in trouble. My brother does not believe in prayer. My brother doesn't believe in any of these things. My brother is in trouble. Can I heal him? And the answer is often, you can try if you wish, but you're going to have to get your brother's awareness on board in order to have the connection that is needed. You might even say, and you'd be accurate, again, there is a key and a lock that has to be inserted and turned. And that key is that the one who is being healed has to want it, understand that you are indeed attempting it, even though they don't understand the modality. There has to be some belief. Prayer works so well, especially when those who are being prayed for stop for a moment, perhaps even at a certain hour, and say, I receive the prayers that you have. I believe they're powerful, and I'm willing to be healed. And it can be across the world. It can be on the telephone. It can be just not on the telephone or anything. You can just have an agreement that at a certain time, even if it's not a time of day, it can be a specific day where you say, I'm aware that this day, that there are those praying for me, and I'm going to sit and receive those prayers. Do you see this connection? It's more than just an awareness. It's really cognizing that you can receive healing. That is the difference. Now, back to the healer who has no result, perhaps on the table, even though it appears their patient gave permission, they really have not. They really haven't. At some level, they have a disbelief that keeps that out. The key never gets into the lock. Even though they are saying things, it doesn't fit. This is what makes it complex. How can you get past this? How can you say yes? How is it possible that you can peel that onion of disbelief and be in a place where you're so open that prayer is going to work instantly? What about you with you? What about your ability to go to a place where there is no healer and have that same energy come at you and work? Welcome to the Circle of 12. This is what we're doing. The key goes in the lock when you start to cross that bridge that I'm going to tell you about in just a little while, that we cross every single time. Complex it is, healing is this way. And perhaps the more that you hear and the more you're able to do with it, the easier it'll be to cognize the fact that you can do anything. Anything. And so it is.
And allow yourself to slowly bring your awareness back into your body, bring your awareness back into the room. Feel the energy of your feet connecting with the energy of the earth. And take a deep breath. Center yourself and become present into this moment, because we have a really special guest that we want you to be present for. And Lee, I am so excited about today's guest.
I am too. It's like when I started reading a little more about who he was and what he does and all that, I just, it's like your cells go, oh my God, oh my God.
I know. So we have today Dr. Emil Faith joining us. Dr. Emil, are you there?
I am here. Hello, everybody. Hey, Monika.
Hey.
Good to be with you.
Great to see you. Emil is on our right, coming to us via Zoom, and
I'll just, we're going to give a little bio here, a little introduction, and then turn it over to him. Dr. Emil Faith is an internationally recognized medical intuitive, author, speaker. He's practiced in virtually every healthcare setting imaginable. I believe that, honing his skills as a holistic expert and medical intuitive for the past 25 years. He's helped thousands of people across the globe. He's solved what I like, the complicated and mysterious health puzzles.
Yes.
Some of the most puzzles imaginable. Mm-hmm. We get a lot of that. Mm-hmm. And it just seems like because there's lots of sensitive people that we deal with.
Yeah. So employing his keen, intuitive diagnostic skills along with his remarkable ability to receive cues from spirit, he's able to detect